Last week was hard. If you're following this series, you know that previous week I took out Louie for a massive hike in the Ardennes. Well, he got spooked and pulled me out and I hit my elbow really hard against a rock. And while I would never advise this to my clients, I kept on training, until my routine collapsed. On top of that, work came in, swinging full force, holiday was over, so my holiday energy totally vanished. But hear me out, rest is not a weakness, it can be weaponized. So a quick recap for anybody new. I'm Hartwig, nearly 40 years old, and I'm tackling this challenge 90 days to King Leonidas like it's my last stand. In 90 days, I will transform my body from where I am now as to the physique of Gerard Butler during the recordings of 300, using exactly the same principles. I booked a professional photo shoot on my 30th birthday on the 8th of November to show off the full transformation. So this week tested me in ways that I didn't expect it. My elbow starting to hurt more, work completely took over, and on top of that, old habits resurfacing. So unfortunately, no epic PRs in this episode, but it will be filled with strategic advice, tips and tricks, and how to overcome hardships. And let's reframe something. Rest is not surrender. Rest is recalibrating the war machine. And that elbow isn't a failure, it's a signal. Yes, I am not gonna lie, for a couple of days the weights did go silent. But daily steps became my new front line. And you know why? Because I thought about my goals. And in the first phase, my goal is to lose as much fat as possible. Keep the metabolic furnace burning. And that's good news, because fat burning doesn't require weightlifting. It requires discipline and movement. Because the truth, I couldn't really push those hard lifts. So I adjusted. Train smarter, not harder. No ego allowed. And it's those small wins that keep the momentum alive. And for this week, mobility and daily movement were my weapons. So here's my typical day. I wake up at 5:45 and I allow myself a 15-minute coffee break to get my morning coffee in and take my magnesium supplements. After that, I start with a short but brutal high-intensity interval training. 30 to 45 minutes maximum, no elbow stress. After that, I lace up Louie and I go for a 30-minute dog walk. And then I commute straight for an hour up to an hour and a half to work, depending on the traffic, which in all honesty in Belgium is not that great. And then I arrive at the office. I have a desk job, so I sit down a lot. So I make it a point, every hour I get up and I do a 5-minute walk to the end of the street and back. During lunch, I do a bigger walk. And these little walks, they keep me focused throughout the day. Because I notice if I work very intensely for 55 minutes, that 5-minute walk will recharge me for the next hour. So by the time I get home, I usually have around 10k steps, and that with a desk job. That's not bad. Because you know what? When it comes to fat loss, steps are underrated. Steps are not sexy, but they work. And I aim for 15k steps on a daily base, which create a huge calorific deficit with the amount of food I eat. And I always say to myself, like each step chips away the fat. It keeps the furnace lit. Then again, it's the commute home, an hour up to an hour and a half. And by the time I get home, I'm not gonna lie, I feel absolutely knackered. I had a really busy day at work. After that, I spent over an hour in my daily commute home. I'm feel knackered. I still have to start my back training. But you know what? We're just gonna do it. Might not be a PR record today, but I'm going through the motion because it is consistency. It's doing the things on the day you don't feel like doing it. Those workouts, they do make the difference. I'm very low on energy, and most of the time I have zero will to work out. And that's why I lace up Louie for another dog walk again. Like, I go with him out for 30 minutes, and after those 30 minutes of like small movement, I feel energized again, and I'm actually ready to tackle the strength workout that is coming next. So yes, even though this week did not look like a training highlight reel, by the time Saturday rolled in, I still got more movement than expected. And that is where real progress happens. It's a mental fight. Work grind, late nights, stress, deadlines, and the inertia to bail grows with each second. But I stay locked. I carved out the time. And that is the real work. Because your body can do a lot more if your mind stays disciplined. This challenge is not about the show days. It's easy training when everything goes your way. But it's about doing the work on the day when everything is not going your way. And that's where the real magic happens. So I started my week around with 98.18 kilograms. Normally I always weigh myself in the morning on an empty stomach. But I didn't have the time yesterday to weigh myself, so I did it in the evening. And I'm not gonna lie, I was a bit nervous, and I hoped that my weight would still be around the 98.18 kilograms. But I stepped on the scale and ta-da! It was 97.9. So it was actually less than expected. Now I agree, that's no fireworks, but it's no regression either. And when I step tomorrow on the scales in the morning, it will be a lot lower. And that's by just daily movement. So remember guys, when your life shifts, you don't break, you adapt. That is a Spartan mindset. If you're still breathing, you're still a threat. If you're still with me, write down in the comments one of the hardships that happened to you and how you overcame it and what you learned from that. And to all the others, don't forget to like and subscribe to this channel. It really helps me out a lot. Thanks for your support. See you guys. Ciao.